Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the fifth-year quarterback, Jameis Winston, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they match up with former MVP Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerged from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like two losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
No question at all about his talent, and that's been on display since his first game as a starter at Florida State. On a Monday night, the whole country watching, he only missed 2 passes in the entire game and led his team to a big victory and later a national championship as a freshman.
They go play action. Winston. Got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Jameis to throw it. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. There are the numbers for Brate from a week ago. 5 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown.
And what we just saw there was exactly what they need against this defense. Big plays. They were able to pick up a first down on that one.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw, Winston. That's caught. It's Peyton Barber. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's 2nd down. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
Peyton Barber had his best year running the football in 2018, and he was 9th in the league last year in rushing attempts. The only issue, yards per carry. Total yards under 900. New head coach Bruce Arians, he believes he can improve his efficiency.
This is Peyton Barber. He led them in rushing a season ago, working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Peyton Barber, a surprise workhorse for the Buccaneers in 2018. I don't think they expected him to have 234 carries, but he certainly felt like he could carry the load and just carried it there for a nice gain.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help him at contract time.
And Gay knocks this one through. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now under head coach Ron Rivera. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. A check on the numbers by Moore last week. 5 catches, 106 yardage-wise, and the score as well.
And in the preseason, I thought he was primed for a big, big year. And week 1 did absolutely nothing to diminish those expectations.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. A first carry for Christian McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Well, look now at our starting defense. This unit, 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Winston. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 12 yards there and a first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Cameron Brate, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Carolina getting set to take the field. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. And here now the offense for Carolina.
It's not often we start a game talking about an offensive lineman, but with Quentin Nelson, I absolutely have to do that. The rookie out of Notre Dame transformed not only an offensive line in 2018, he transformed an offense. In fact, he was the only guard ever named Rookie of the Month, and he did so in October of last year.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. On 2nd and 11 now. Newton, and he's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 13, it's a 1st down.
DJ Moore went through some ups and downs his rookie season, but really came on strong late in the year. Finished with 55 catches, the most among Panthers not named Christian McCaffrey. And now with Devin Funchess gone to Indianapolis, he's going to be the true WR1 for the Panthers.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Newton. Escaping the pressure right. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the 1st.
Even at the age of 30, Cam says it's just a number. Still a real threat running the football. We all know about the touchdowns, but ran for 488 yards last season. That was 4th among all NFL quarterbacks. He can still tote the mail.
McCaffrey, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually...
And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel. His 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown. And the defensive there, that was a battle. He just made a really nice play.
A really nice play, making sure his body position was correct. And how about the throw? Zipped it in there.
And it results in the touchdown. Graham Gano on for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They're starting to put some space here. You know, 1st quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This 2nd quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing, Winston. Over the middle, complete. That's Bryant. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. To throw is Winston. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Cameron Brate, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Let's go. Do it.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll pass there over the middle to start things out. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 12 yards there and a first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So call off the pick six.
Everything looked right. It looked like it was in their favor. Returned it for a touchdown, as you just described. But instead, the penalty for interference nullifies everything.
Running with the fullback, Alex Arma. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, Greg Olson's back for his 13th NFL season. The last 9 have been in a Panthers uniform. Only 9 games for him a year ago, 7 the season before due to injuries. But when healthy, a 1,000-yard receiver in 2014, 15, and 16.
On 1st and 10, Newton. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. He'll get the first down and more. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Newton with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Panthers have got it back to a 1-score game. And we've mentioned before, Cam, the all-time leader in rushing TDs by a quarterback, so everyone he gets from here on out for the rest of his career just adding to that lead. So what you're saying is that if you're a young kid who wants to play quarterback in the NFL, and that's the record you're shooting for, good luck. You got some work to do, aren't you? By the time he's done, he might have double a second-place guy. Gano the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Heading back out there, a look at Peyton Barber. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
A 1st down throw for Winston. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
And that's complete. It's Watson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. As far as the early games go, we'll be watching that one in Houston. The Texans in for a fight as they'll square off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the New Orleans Saints. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, a good one down south. A couple of recent Super Bowl teams from the NFC. Philadelphia heading down to take on Atlanta. In our game has been Jameis Winston, who's been on target in the first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this 2nd half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go!
Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. His feet, what he's been able to do individually running the ball, it's kind of kept him in this game.
No doubt about it, because if he's not making the plays that we've seen, they are really getting blown out in this one. I don't think they have any chance at all. He's keeping them in striking distance, hoping to get some help from the defensive side of the ball so that maybe some of these plays can turn into plays that maybe put them in the lead.
Starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything, but in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball, because keeping on the ground just isn't working for them.
Yeah, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game, a swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day on this. It's going to be a long day.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The 13 yards that time, and a first.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. To throw is Newton. Flushed out right. That was going to let it go deep right sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They snap it to Newton. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. A big pickup at 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Fourth down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will tie things at 17 all. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. The 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bucs have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Tackle made by Justin Evans.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
On first down, Newton. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Looking to throw again on second down. Newton, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Off the edge, the sack by Reggie Ragland. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen.
And the pressure gets to him again. Dayon Buchanan. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
He's going to run. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the gun, Winston. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Evans. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Barber on 1st and 10. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run for it with Hyde. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold it for a short gain when he took off running.
12 yards there and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the play, but oh so effective. Nice complete.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 44. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
Luke Kuechly, the all-pro linebacker, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. This is Ellington. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Kill.
Back to the ground. This time it's Hyde. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They get the first. The decision to run on third and medium winds up being a good one.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And able to push his way forward here for a good little game.
Subscribe if I can go.
The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They're looking to throw this. Winston. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The Bucs on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. It's a gain of 3 there, and that should be just about all she wrote.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Winston will kneel down, and that should be your ball game.
Well, Brandon, they're getting to 2-0, and this time they're able to take a knee at the end and secure the victory.
Preseason, Coach said their goal, they obviously want to win everything. He said, I think we can get off to a 3-0 start. Well, here they are, looking at 2-0 right now. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Buccaneers, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.